Howdy folks, welcome back to my channel for another episode of World in Flames CE Days of Decision 3 solo playthrough. This will be the March-April turn of 1940. Last turn we saw just about every major power gear up except the French. Now it has occurred to me that the French actually don't exist anymore, that they are divided into two factions now. They're the Free French and they're the Vichy French. And it doesn't really specify in the rules one way or another. It says, oh, the Free French take over for the French, but it doesn't make any sense that the Free French would carry over the alliance, the minor alliance treaties they have that the French Republic had. So I'm going to house rule it and say that any minor alliances that France hadn't aligned as a minor country before the fall of France, that those alliances have been negated. Also, the debt that France had, I'm going to say that the Free French are not going to be responsible for that either. So I'm going to discount the debt that the Free French have, that they supposedly inherited from the French Republic, and maybe I'm not sure if that's right or wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with. Now, sometimes you just have to make these decisions and go with it. So yeah, let's get right into the turn. Let's go check out what the starting money is for the major powers. There we go. Oh, here, the starting money right here. So we have Germany at 2, Japan at 0, Italy at 0, Soviet Union at 0, the Commonwealth at minus 13, the USA at minus 2, the Free French are going to be at 0. They don't actually have any production yet. They don't have any factories. They have a few resources scattered around the map. That's another thing. It doesn't really say whether they get convoy points or not. It says it can build convoy points, but it doesn't actually say they can get convoy points. So another thing I'm going to house rule is that any convoy points that are in C-zone adjacent to Free French territories are going to become Free French convoy points. We'll just have to keep track of it somehow. Okay, and continuing, with the Vichy French have 1. Their production is, I believe, 3 right now. They have 3 resources. Well, actually, they have 5 factories. And I think they're getting 3 resources right now. So their production is 3. They can only build ships, so I'm not going to be too accurate with keeping track of their production because it really doesn't matter too much. And the Chinese are at a big minus 2. Okay, so I have put in bids for all the major powers. We got some serious bidding going on this turn. Apparently, now that war is broken out in Europe, a lot of the major powers have decided that they really need to start getting things done, at least politically. So let's take a look at the track. Alright, let's see if I can get everything in here. Yeah, that's better. There we go. So this is the order from last turn. We have 7 major powers bidding. We have Germany bid 6, the USSR bid 2, the US bid 6, the Commonwealth bid 1, Japan bid 1, Italy bid 1, and the Free French bid 2, who the Commonwealth are going to pay for. Because the level 3 treaty is going to carry over into the Free French. That does make sense. Okay, so see how the order is going to come down here. So we have Germany bid 6. They get a +4 for their first place position. That gives them 10. However, they're going for 2 options, so they're going to have a bid of 5. The USSR bid 2. They get +3. That gives them a 5. The US bid 6. they get a +2. I'm sorry, they bid 8. They get a +2. Can't read my own writing. That gives them a 10. They're also going for 2 options, so that's a 5. So we got a 3-way tie. The tie is broken by the political effectiveness. The Germans have the highest political effectiveness at 7, so they're going to be first. The USSR is political effectiveness is a 4, so that's going to put them in second. And the USA will be in third. The next bidding power would be the Commonwealth. They bid 1. They get a +3. That gives them a 4. That's going to put them in fourth. Japan bid 1. They get a +2. That's going to put them in fifth. Italy bid 1. They get a +2. They get a +1. That gives them 2. And the Free French bid 2. They have a 0. That gives them a 2. So that's a tie. And the Italian, they're both the same political effectiveness of 3. So the tie is broken by the current order. So the Italians will be 6. The Free French will be 7th. And the non-bidding Chinese will be 8th. So the first last card goes at Germany, and the last card goes all the way down to the French. I think the major power is seeing that in the past, that the political phase was kind of long, several turns in a row, decided that they're going to take a chance and see if they can get a political option done. So Germany's up first. She's going to do 2 options. Let's go take a look and see what she's going to do. Okay, before we go into Germany's first political option, I just wanted to go over real quickly what the current U.S. entry is. Now, using the formula, Germany's current U.S. entry is 40. And the formula is the target major powers U.S. entry plus half all other fascists minus U.S. minus half all other major powers. So that comes out to be 105 plus 35 minus 32 minus 68. Japan is, Italy is at -4, and her total is 18. So plus 78, the total from Germany and Japan, minus 32, which is what the U.S. is, minus 68, which is what the totals from the other the other four major powers are. So that comes up to be for Italy -4. Japan's raw total is 52. You add 64 to that from the half the total of the other two, minus 32 minus 68. That comes out to be a 20. So basically, U.S. entry is at the point where it's right just shy of where the U.S. can actually take some action at this point. So the entry levels are getting to the point where the U.S. may actually be able to do something and to impact the fascists. So I just wanted to give everybody a quick update on that. Now, here's another wonky thing. Okay, so minor alliances. Germany is going to break her alliance with Poland. It says you can always break one of your own alliances, so it's automatically broken. Apply treaty. No, it's not. Break your own alliance. War chop -1 to other allies. Well, that's for the minors. So the only minor country that got affected was the Baltic States. All the rest have been aligned that Germany has an alliance with. So I took basically 2 points out of the Baltic States. Now here's something kind of weird. It says for U.S. entry, apply treaty charter successful. Well, that's kind of weird. Anyway, I added 4 to German U.S. entry. I guess that's the way that's supposed to be done. This is one of those things that just it doesn't quite match up correctly. So I'm just going to go with it. It says apply treaty chart. So it was successfully broken, so I'm going to apply the treaty chart for U.S. entry, and I'm just going to call it good at that point. I can't really see what else to do with that. So yes, all right. So the last thing that the next thing that the Germans can do is it can activate a miner. There are not a lot of good miners that Germany can activate at this point. Let's go take a look at South America. Now, there's a few points in South America, no doubt. Well, we got the option. We could potentially activate. Yeah, I think we're going to activate Argentina. It's the very last miner that I think that's in there. I think. I think that might be in Brazil. No, I think it's in Argentina. All right. Argentina is the very last minor country whose marker is still in the middle of the board. So let's grab these and see what's going to come of this. I think the marker is going to move all over the place just from looking at this. Okay, we have a 4 German, a -3 French, a 1 Commonwealth, a -2 Japanese, and 2 US. So let's do the 2 US first. That moves it there. We'll activate the 1 Commonwealth. That's not going to do anything. We'll activate the 2 Japanese, -2 Japanese. That's going to move it here. Now we're going to activate the 3 French. And it's going to either go this way, so we'll push it here. And then the 4 German. That's going to drag it down in this direction because Germany is just off screen over here. So it's going to go 1, 2. That's that. Okay, so we don't roll to end the political phase. Instead, we just move to the next political option. And that's going to be Germany's second political option. And I think the Germans have decided they're just going to go for broke over here. They're going to try, right at the bottom of the screen, minor coup. I'm going to try to coup Spain. Historically, I believe the Spanish Civil War broke out in 1936, lasted to 38, somewhere around there. Can't remember exactly. But, so this is 1940, so yeah, let's get it going right now, right? So your major powers initiative must be less than or equal to the minus willpower. I think Spain's willpower is a 2 or 3. I'm going to check that. Okay, so Spain's willpower is 3. So Germany's initiative position is 1, so it's less than her willpower, so she can do this. Spain's stability is also 3. I think that's a modifier on the chart. You just have to remember that. What else is it? Let's see. So against minor powers that are at war or already in civil war. Okay, so Spain's neutral, so we're good to go. Let's go over to the status display because that's where the charts are. Let's see. Coup table. That's what we want right there. The coup table. All right. Let's see. So, okay, plus or minus stability. So that's going to be a +3. +1 allied to you, no. -1 allied to another, no. +1 41 42, no. -1 43 44, no. -2 45. So it looks like it's going to be a +3 to the die. Now let me grab my dice wherever they went. Alright, here it is. Let's get the roll on. Alright, roll the 5, whatever that means. Let's see, 5. So let's see, it's 5 plus. Let me grab that chat real quick. I'm not quite sure exactly what this does. So 5, I guess we add the stability, that's an 8. Yeah, 8. So 5 is an 8. Let's see, 8, what is 8? Coup, 3 dice. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I gotta read the rule on this because I'm not sure what this is, so I'll be right back in a second. Okay, so I read up on that a little bit. I didn't really understand exactly what they meant at first. So what this is it's 3 dice. So you roll 3 dice according to the result of an 8, and that's the coup dice, and that's the amount of political influence that the miner gets. So a 5 for Germany for a coup is like probably the best result you can get. So I'm going to take the initiative dice here and roll them and see what we get. Alright, well we got a 10, a 1, and a 5 for a total of 16. So we'll go over to go over to Spain. I got to put 16 points in Spain. Okay, let's take a look at it. Alright, there it is right there. 16 points. There was already a 2 there. So that's going to be a total of 18 points. So the coup was really super effective for the Germans. So let's see, there's a 4. 18, huh? There's a 2 there, so there's 4. That's 10. Do I have an 8? Probably not. Whenever you want one of these things, you can't find them. Like, I go looking, oh, I need a, for example, oh, I need a 1. I can't find any 1s. That's how much is that? That's 17. 1 more point. 18. So we got 18 points of political influence in Spain. And Spain has been successfully couped. So Germany will activate Spain. Come over here to the status display. We'll see Spain is way down there. 18 points might get it done. We do have a -2 Italian in there. So the other thing that the coup result does that I read on is that it reverses the table. So now, excuse me, whenever there's any political influence in Spain, say for example a -2 of political influence, that's actually a +2. The only difference is minor economic agreements, and the other one is alliances. Those are just the straight up, whatever the actual amount is what is put in there. So let's see what we got here. We got -1 China, no effect. -1 Soviet Union, no effect. -2 Italy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. That does move it back 1. And we got -2 France. That's going to move it over here. Now we got 18 German points. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. 15. 15 to there. And 3 more will be 18. So I'm going to also replace the marker with the other marker that's provided, the nationalist Spain. So Spain is now and the Spanish marker ended up right there. Spain is now a fascist minor country, sort of. It's definitely in the fascist ideology. The coup, though expensive and very, very risky. I mean, it could have rolled. Let's say, what happens if I had rolled a 1, for example? That would have been 2 counter coup dice. So it probably would have been French or Free French counter coup dice, and the Free French could very well have ended up with Spain. So that was actually pretty dangerous. A lot of bad things could have happened for the fascists in Western Europe if I rolled anything except a modified 6, 7, or 8. A coup wouldn't have been that bad. A civil war wouldn't have been that bad either. So that's it for Germany. I paid all the money for that. Yeah, a lot of money. Now we got to see if Germany ends the political phase, and this would really make a lot of other major powers mad. Nope. Let's see. We rolled a. Come on. Well, yeah, we rolled a 9. So the last card marker moves down to the Soviet Union. And let's go see what the Soviets want to do. Yeah, the Soviet Union has decided to declare war on the Baltic States. So they've played IU6, so that's good. They have a common border, so that's good. There's basically no units in the Baltic States except a couple of convoy points, I believe. And that's about it. So I will record the U.S. entry, okay, and add the war chart, and I'll come right back with the Soviets activating a minor. The Soviets are going to activate Yugoslavia. Let's see if they can get some good mileage out of this. So we'll pick up the markers. And we'll head over to the status display. You can see Yugoslavia is down in the corner. Put the markers out. We have a 1 German, a -2 Italian, we have a 3 Soviet, a -2 French, and we have a 2 Commonwealth. Now this is going to actually matter, the order in which we do these, but the 1 German don't matter. So we'll just get rid of that one. It's not going to do anything. So we're going to activate the Commonwealth one first. That's 2 points. Yugoslavia is here. The Commonwealth is over here, just off the screen. It costs 2 for the hex and an additional point to cross the boundary. So basically the marker won't move because the Commonwealth only had 2 points. So it costs 3 to get to that hex, so it won't move. Next, I think we're going to activate the French one. It's a -2. It's going to drive the marker 1 hex away from the French. Free French or whatever they are. Okay, so now we got a 3 Soviet and a -2 Italian. Well, Italy is basically off map straight down this hex roll, so it's just going to drive it this way. And then we'll activate the 3 Soviet, and that's going to move it here. So the Soviets are pretty happy with that. The marker originally started here, and for 3 points, they managed to move it all the way over here, halfway, half the distance towards the communist ideology. So they're pretty happy about that. Okay, last up for the Soviets. Roll a die, see if they end the political phase. 2 political options have been played. 8. I'm going to find a box or something one of these days that I can roll dice in. So the political phase does not end. The last card marker moves down to the United States. Let's go see what they're going to do. The U.S. is going to propose a level 1 treaty with the Commonwealth. So, I don't do anything until after the Commonwealth goes to see if they actually will get the chance to accept the treaty. So for right now, it's going to be on hold. I'm not going to pay the money. I'm going to wait until if we get to the Commonwealth turn, and then we'll pay the money and activate a miner and all that stuff. So the next thing the U.S. does is they roll the die to see if they end the political phase. So 1, 2, 3 political options have been played. Now the roll of 7. 7 keeps us going. So the U.S. vied for 2 political options. So let's see what the next option the U.S. wants to do. Okay, for the second political option, the U.S. is going to pass the Neutrality Act. That's U.S. Option 6, Revised Neutrality Act. They're going to pass the Neutrality Act. They feel that a lot of the political U.S. entry has already been baked into the fascists, and that now a lot of the Democrats and the Soviets are going to be getting U.S. entry. So they feel that this could actually help them do more against the fascists as far as political options. Plus, it's going to actually increase their political effectiveness by 1. So I'll record the U.S. entry, and I'll go put the miner influence markers out, and I'll be right back with activating a miner. Okay, last step, the U.S. gets to activate a miner. They're going to activate Mexico. Grab the markers. We'll come over here to Mexico. I mean the status display. And we'll take a look at where Mexico is. It's right next to the fascist ideology. A place where the U.S. does not want them to be. So the +1 Chinese doesn't do anything. But the 2 U.S., that's going to move Mexico this way. Alright. Last thing for the U.S. to do is roll a die to see if the political phase ends. There's been 2, 3, 4. 4 options played. That's a -3 because we have a +1 because of the number of major powers at war right now. So that's a 2. The political phase does indeed continue, and the Commonwealth is up. Okay, this will be really easy. The Commonwealth is going to play their OF, except, I think it's OF. It's either OF or OG. There's no U.S. entry for that. There's none of that stuff. So the level 1 treaty will go into effect. I will put the influence markers out and then come back and activate a miner. Okay, the last thing we do is activate a miner. And we're going to activate Argentina. Argentina is another one of those South American countries that the U.S. and the Commonwealth certainly don't want in the hands of the fascists. Get that die out of there. So we got 2 U.S. points. That's going to move Argentina towards the U.S. I'm just going to put it right there. And America's happy with that. So the last thing we do is we roll a die to see if the political phase ends. So there's been 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 options have been played. So it's a -4 to the die. A 9 certainly is not going to do it. So we move down to Japan. See what the Japanese want to do. I already know what they want to do. They are going to build a factory or a synth. They're going to build a synthetic oil plant. There's no U.S. entry for that. I don't even think you get to activate a miner. I don't know. I'm going to say no. You don't get to activate a miner with that. Here's the synthetic oil plant. Put it so you can see it. It's right there. The cost is 8, so it's definitely not cheap. But it will go in Japan proper and produce an oil every turn after it comes on the map, which is going to take a year from now. So I'm going to say don't get to activate a miner. Doesn't make sense that, yeah. Most of these the options that are something, you just don't activate miners with those. Doesn't specifically say don't activate a miner. I'm gonna say for the sake of expediency, just no. Maybe that's wrong, but we're gonna go with that. So I'll pay the 8. We'll roll to see if the political phase ends. I'm going to grab a die. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 political options have been played. Oh yeah. I like that number. 9. So we will move down to Italy and we will see what the Italians want to do. Italy's decided that they can't do what they wanted to do because of their current political position on the initiative track. So they're just going to go with increased bid points. It doesn't cost them anything. They're going to get 2x their political effectiveness and increased bid points for next turn. So it's not completely wasted. They will probably be close to the top of the political initiative next turn, so they will actually get to do something. So the last thing we do is roll to see if the turn ends, the political phase ends. Let's see, we've had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, so it's a -6 to the die. Okay, 10, yeah, political phase keeps going. Wow, this is really unusual. So now we'll do the French. I'm pretty sure I know what the French are going to do. The French are going to play their established Free France option, which if I dig it out, it's on the very last page. Okay, here we go. There we are. Can you see that? Nope. Established Free France organizes. Okay, so Free France exists, which they do. U.S. entry is going to be a +3, which is reduced to a +2. And I'll place the factory in the Free French capital. The Free French capital is Senegal. And there's already a resource there, so they will get a production point out of that every turn now. And there's some minor country effects. I will go place those, and then Free France will get the activate a miner. I'll be right back with that. The last thing the French get to do is activate a miner. They've decided to activate Greece. Take a look at what we have for Greece here. We have a -2 Italian, a -2 German, and a -1 French. So we'll get rid of the -1 French. Not going to do anything. -2 German, or the Italian, the German marker, you can just see it's right here, and the Italian marker is right next to it. So the -2 German is going to drive it probably that way, and then the -2 Italian is going to drive it that way. And that is the end of a very long political phase. Very, very, very long. Pay for all this. Okay, and all right, the money track is straight. Good. Okay, let's go take a look at what I rolled for initiative and weather. Here's the initiative roll. We got a 3 for the fascists, a 4 for the communists, and an 8 for the Democrats. So the Democrats have decided to go last. They think the weather's going to be kind of bad, so they're just going to leave it at that. And the communists forced the fascists to go first. Okay, so the weather roll was a 4, which is snow in the Arctic, storm in North Temperate, rain in the Mediterranean, clear in North Monsoon, storm in South Monsoon, and rain in South Temperate. So let's go take a look at reinforcements. This is the March-April turn. Let's see right there. Alright. Alright, so we got a militia for the Commonwealth. That's going to go in someplace. Bombay, India. I already put that down. That was easy enough to do. We got a Communist Cav Corps. That will go on the map. We have a German SS Infantry Corps. That will go on the map. Did I actually? I'll have to go check that. I'm going to have to replace that unit. We got a infantry division for the Nationalist Chinese. We have a U.S. float plane. That will go in the reserve pool. We have a U.S. transport going on map. We have a German bomber. That will go on map. Reduce the pilots by 1. We have a German sub. That will go on map. We have a British combat air group. Put that in the reserve pool. We have a heavy cruiser for the Japanese. That's going on map. We have a pretty good fighter combat air group. We'll take a look at that later. 2 convoy points for the U.S. We have an Italian HQ, armored HQ at that. We have a Soviet pilot. We'll increase their pilots by 1. We have a Japanese pilot. We'll increase their pilots by 1. A little later I'll look at that and decide if they're actually going to go on map or not. We have 3 Commonwealth light cruisers going in the construction pool. And we have a bunch of ships here. This is what was built by the Japanese, so that's going to go right here. Take 6 turns. Well, we have a Japanese little carrier. That's going to go on map. And we have a British battleship going in the construction pool. A British carrier, a little one, going in the construction pool. We have a U.S. battleship, the South Dakota, going in the construction pool. And that's it for reinforcements. I will get these on the map and we will be right back with the first turn. Okay, so the first impulse for the Germans, they decided to do a naval impulse and they sorted the fleet from Bordeaux, which is in supply because I have Mr. Lieb sitting right next to it, or 2 hexes away rather. Okay, so they sorted their whole fleet. There was 3 British cruisers in the 4 box that moved down to the 3 box. The escorts that were in the 0 went home at the end of the turn. So what we have is a, okay, we rolled dice. We rolled search dice. The Germans rolled a 2, which is modified to a 3 because of the weather. Make sure I said that right. Search roll. Yes. Okay, and there's no modification to the search number because it's storm. The search roll is modified to a 3. So which includes anything in the 3 boxes above. So the Democrats rolled a 7, which means none of theirs are included. That's modified to an 8. And when you do the surprise point calculation, which is based on the highest box and the rolls, the modified rolls of the search rolls, it comes out to be the Germans have +7 surprise points. So they spent 2 surprise. We're going to have a surface combat. I'm including the subs for the Germans. They are going to include the 3 British cruisers. Why not? I can probably maul them pretty bad. With 7 surprise points, the Germans are going to move the Commonwealth's combat column to the left one and move their own column to the right 2. So what that comes out is that the Germans are on the 65 to 80 column and the Commonwealth is on the 6 to 9 column. I don't have any place to put this. So I'll just read it off over here. Take a quick look at it. So this is the naval combat table. This is going to be the column, the anti-air and surface. It's the column. So the Commonwealth is going to be on the 6 to 9. There are, I got to go count that number of enemy ships. 1, 2, 3. There are 15 German ships in the sea zone. So that's going to be in the 12 to 16 on the 6 to 9. There are 2 damaged and 1 aborted. The way that works is that the attacker picks one, the defender picks one, the attacker picks one, like that. So the damage. So the Commonwealth picks first. And let's go see what they're going to pick. Right here. Let's see. I think the Commonwealth is going to try to damage the Konigsberg. It should be fairly easy. It's an 8. So you roll a die. If you get 8 or above, the damage is reduced to an abort. And 8. So the Konigsberg will be aborted at the end of this round. She'll go back to base. Oops. Sorry about that. All right. Now, the Germans will pick one. They will pick... they're going to pick the Gneisenau, which is a 3. That's a 10. So the Gneisenau will be aborted. You'll go back to base. And the last one is an abort. The Commonwealth picks that. They're going to go for the Karlsruhe. Karlsruhe rolls a 9. So that's a half abort, so it doesn't do anything right now. So that's the end of the Commonwealth's damage to the German fleet. Now the Germans get a go. This is simultaneous, so it really doesn't matter who goes first. They're on the 65 to 80 column. And we have, what, 3? And every 3 convoy points count as 1, 4. And 4 is 8, 9. 9 ships for the Commonwealth. So they're going to have 3 sunk and 2 aborted. So for the first, we're gonna go for 3 convoy points to be sunk. Okay, 3 convoy points. We'll have to take it out of that 10. If they get a chance to save it, it's a 10. Where's that crappy green die? They roll the 4. That doesn't save it, so 3 convoy points are lost. Now, it's the turn of the Commonwealth to pick one. They're going to try the cruiser here, the Exeter. It's the best chance to not lose a ship with the 6. So, Okay, it's an 8, so the Exeter will be damaged and aborted. So she's going to go to the repair pool. It's supposed to be at the end of the turn, but it doesn't make much difference. Now the Germans will pick one. They're going to pick another 3 convoy points. Roll a die. That's a 3. 3 more convoy points sunk for 6 convoy points. And that was the last of the sunks, I believe. Yes, now there are 2 aborts. So the Commonwealth will pick the Edinburgh for the abort. And that's a 7. And she saves, so it's a half abort. And the last abort will be selected by the Germans. And they will pick the Edinburgh as well, because if it gets another abort, then it's aborted. And it's aborted. So the Edinburgh aborts. And that is the end of round 1. Oh, I gotta police up the counters here, because we've lost 6 convoy points, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so after the end of each round of combat, both sides can decide whether or not they want to abort. I think the Germans are going to abort because they had a pretty good round. They damaged a heavy cruiser. They sunk 6 convoy points, and they didn't really lose anything. So I think they had a pretty good round. I think they will abort. Their ships return to port. And now the British player can decide if he wants to abort. All these units are flipped over, so they can't do anything for the rest of the turn. And he will just stay right there. Sorry about that. So we also have another possible naval combat. And that's over here in the North Atlantic. The Graf Spee and the, what are you? The Deutschland sorted out into the North Atlantic to try to create some mayhem. So first thing you have to do is roll dice. Now the North Atlantic is in the North Temperate Zone, or South North Temperate Zone. So it's storm. It's going to be the same. Well, let's see. It looks like nobody found anybody. Now, I think they get to choose whether or not they want to abort. Yeah, it doesn't say they can willingly. It says that after each round, but there was no round. Not sure if they can abort or not. I don't think they can because there was no round that was fought, so they stay there. And this unit is flipped over. Okay, because he had to commit to try to do some combat stuff. Alright, now let's head over to Asia. We might have something happen in the North Monsoon Zone. Let's check it out. Okay, Japan's going to choose a land impulse. Alright, we'll pay oil as we go. We get 1 free oil dependent unit to move, and we're going to move. I'm going to try ground strike with this dude, because it's actually fair weather in this zone. So let's go for it again. The red die will be the top unit. Oh yeah, 2 and a 4. Nothing. Japan's tactical air power is just, might as well not have any. So we got 8 factors here, and we got 11 and 7 is 18. 18 to 8. It's another 2 to 1. We're going to commit HQ benefits. Actually, can't do that, right? He has to be in the hex. So actually, you know, we'll move this one here and this one here. Okay, now we can do it like that. Yeah. A little bit of fudging, but now we can do it. So now we got 2 to 1 plus 1. That's a hellacious combat chart. Could be really bad for Japan. China's going to pick the assault table. Huh. What do you know? A 10, which is an 11 on the 2 to 1 table. It's cross 2S, so 2 Chinese units destroyed, the rest shattered, and half the Japanese units remain face up. Well, that's probably about the absolute best result Japan could have hoped for, because these 2 units are dead. Half the units remain face up. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, I guess it doesn't matter too much. This guy will flip over. Well, that's going to put Canton in an... Canton's going to have an issue now. Going to have an issue. I hope. Well, Japan hopes anyways. There's no movement up in the northern part of the front because it's all storm up there. That's the end of the fascist round. I will move the Soviets. The Soviets are invading the Baltic States, so let's take a look at that. There are 2 convoy points for the Baltic States, and after the Soviets finish conquering them, they're going to get taken off the board because they have nowhere to go, so I'm not even going to bother to put them on. Double movement costs. This guy's out of supply. I think, yeah, he's out of supply. So he's just going to move here, and this guy's going to move here. I haven't going to get, yeah, these guys are in supply, so he's going to go here, and he's going to go here. And that's it for the big invasion. And they got to pay 1/10 of an oil. 1/10 of an oil. Okay, that's it for the Democrats. Democrats are up now. They're gonna, England's gonna do a naval, obviously. And she's gonna try and go, I lost 6 convoy points, so I gotta put 6 back. That's 4. 6. I'll mess around with a change later. I'm going to try to go get these guys. We got some ships in Halifax. And we got, actually we can, let's see, we got, there's the home fleet right there. So I'm going to send from the home fleet we need fast cruisers and maybe a battleship, maybe 2. Yeah, all right, so I'm gonna send these guys out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have some that are 5, so we're gonna, yeah, 6. I can get right there. I got 2 here, 2 there. So we're going to commit. I'm going to try to initiate combat. And again, it's a die roll for each side. Let's see if anybody finds anybody. Okay, so the 4-box found anything that the British have in the 4-box found any of the German groups. So the Germans rolled an 8. They're going to have 4 surprise points. I think 4. No, it's 12, and I have 7. They got 5 surprise points. 5 surprise points over here. So basically can commit these two. Ooh. I think we're just going to avoid combat because it'll probably mangle those two cruisers. It's not a good idea. I'm just going to avoid combat. So the British, the Germans are going to abort. Because at the end of a round, you avoided combat, they can abort. So they're going to try to get through the Bay of Biscay. And that's the night of the dice roll. Now, fortunately for them, you can't see that die. The Commonwealth rolled a 7, the Germans rolled a 5. Doesn't really matter too much because they're just going to abort straight back to Bordeaux. So there, that was great. And that's the end of the Commonwealth impulse. Moves up 3. We roll for weather. If the weather turns good, could be bad in China. Let's see what the weather die roll is. 9. Rain in the Arctic, fair weather everywhere else. Okay. Rain in the Arctic and fair weather everywhere else. Fair weather everywhere else. Okay. And I'm going to be right back after the fascist move. Okay, first we have a ground strike for Japan. Yeah, that guy would have moved to there. Forgot to move the Chinese over here, so I'm going to do it right now. I think we have to give that up. Now, got a problem here. We've got a little bit of a hole. But the good thing is the Japanese don't have a lot of troops to slide into here. They don't have a lot of much of anything. I think that was all the movement I wanted to do. Oh, he wanted to go there. Yeah, can't really do much. All right, so now we'll pick up with the ground strike. Okay, we have a ground strike. We're going to have the Chinese are going to intercept. We're going to have an air combat between the Japanese and the Chinese. They're evenly matched, biplane junk. So we got a 3 versus a 3. 3 on 3. So the defender rolls first. Air combat at a 0. He rolls, it looks like a 12. Yes, that's a 12. So the Chinese roll a 12. That's going to be attacker clears through any one bomber. So the bomber gets through. Where are you, bomber boy? Here you go. Now the Japanese reply. They roll a 15. 15 on the 0. Attacker aborts. Okay. A lot of nothing happened. Alright, so Chinese plane goes back, flips over. Japanese plane goes back, flips over. Everything was peachy. Now we got 2 dice. The red will be the top one. Alright, there's 2 units there. Yes, the red will be the top one. Need a 2, and we got a big giant 0. Okay, so he goes back and flips over. So far, so bad. So we got 3 to 1 straight up. 3 to 1. And that is, it's going to be on the assault table. 3 to 1, a 6. 3 to 1 with a 6. That looks like it's going to be one Chinese guy gets killed. And everything gets flipped over. So that's the Chinese breathing a sigh of relief. They lost their garrison division and they flipped over most of the Japanese army in this area. I didn't do the land movement down here, so I want to do that before I get too excited here. All we're going to do down here is we're going to slide that militia division over here, corps over here. And that's it. That's all. So this goes in the cadre box, even though he's not a cadre. That's the end of the fascist impulse. Germans are not doing anything this impulse. Let's go see. Oops. Is there a chance to end the turn? Nope. Moves up one box. The communists. The communists will continue their invasion of the Baltic States. All the massive fighting here. Okay. And that's it. Let's see. I believe that's... Oops, I can't move through Poland yet. DoDIII. Okay, it cost him another 1/10 of an oil. Moving through Poland was a bad no-no. Okay, and that's it for the communists. We roll a die to see if they end the turn. Nope, 2. And we move to the Democrats. So let's go right to China. All right. Well, we did okay. We're going to move him here. I think it's time. Who moves first, the communists or the Democrats? We messed this up. Should have let the Democrats move first and then the communists. Because I could have filled in some of the back spots with these. But I think they will put this guy here. That's still a pretty rugged hex. The Lanchow militia will move here. And this guy will move up to here. Okay, we're okay. These two are dead in the cadre box. Alright. That's it for the Democrats. Roll to see if they kill the turn. Nope. Now we're on to the fascists and we got to roll weather. And they rolled another 9. 9 is the same weather. Alright, I'm going to do the fascist movement and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so the turn actually ended on that fascist impulse. Impulse number 13. So basically nothing happened after that. So we went right to production. And what we got for production is Germany producing 29, starting with 15, spent 14. Japan producing 16, started with 8, spent 13. You can see what they built right here. The Italians produced 10, started with 9, spent 9. The Russians produced 15, started with 9, spent 11. The Commonwealth built 5 convoy points. They produced 16, started with -4, spent 5. The US produced 20, started with 4, spent 7. And China produced 5, got 2 cadre points, started with 5, and spent 6. So as you can see, the US, all these major powers are digging themselves out of the hole they had. So it won't be long before the spending kind of ramps up a little bit, even though there is some action taking place on the boards now. Okay, so I will get this turn put together and uploaded shortly. Thanks for watching.